Hey guys, I am back from the dealership, and well, I did some errands with my family during the day, and I see I'm not in my car anymore. My car's not coming home, but I did bring a friend home from the dealership. It's a gift from my service advisor for my son, and I tell you why this beautiful fluffy teddy bear cost $7,000. I tell you guys that in this video. So guys, this was the invoice today that I got for trolling for just the battery. My battery is, as you know, giving me issues. I had the pulley that was squeaking, the belts with oil, and as well as the water pump, which was the main thing. I definitely was going to do the water pump. I definitely was going to do the battery. And I asked him to look at the oil leak from the gasket, as well as the belts and pulleys that were squeaking. So that's just 4 big things, and this was the invoice that I got. You see that's today's date there. BMW Westchester, really good people. I really recommend them. I actually ran into a friend of mine's there that was doing her X5, her 2013 X5, and she had the same thing with the water pump and some other things as well. Actually, her oil gasket was leaking on, the oil from the oil filter gas was leaking on her belts, and she needed to replace that. But this was my invoice today, basically for a car battery, a water pump, belts and pulleys, and an oil filter housing gasket. He also quoted me for brakes in this. The brakes were actually one of the cheaper things if you think about it, when I'll show you guys the line by line. But this is what it costs to repair a BMW E90 3 Series for those basic things. And like I said, remember my past videos go back a couple of years. I did the water pump in my E46 for not even, this is astronomical. This is actually the price I paid for my first BMW about 15 years ago. So let's put that to the side and let's do the line by line. That's my friend, Mr. Teddy Bear. I did get a teddy bear for my son. So I'm going to go through this. This is very important information for anyone that wants to take the car to the dealership out of warranty. So as you see there, that's for the, they did a line by line. So the first thing was the alternator water pump belt drive. This is just basically Operation 11-12-8-80-20 is basically belts and pulleys. And that's the price for that, $12.18. The belts and the pulleys. And my service advisor said for some reason this labor would take longer than the water pump labor. I'll get to that in a minute. I don't know why he said that. The water pump was $14.11, which by comparison to belts and pulleys, this is 2 pulleys, a couple of pulleys. You look at the parts number there and the ripped V-belt. So belts and pulleys is that, and the water pump, which is a big job. You have to put the car up on a lift. You have to replace the coolant. You have to do a couple of things to the car. It's only $14.11, which I thought it would be a lot more money for the water pump. So look at that, parts and everything. So that's the water pump there. For some reason, he thought the water pump he could have done, because like I said, just do the water pump on the battery. He said that'll take a couple of hours to do that. But no, it did not. They're going to have to work on the car. We go on vacation tonight, so they will have to keep the car there for the week. We are away for 10 days, so they will have to keep the car there for that length of time. So this is the battery. I did say it was $485. Labor was $253. Parts is actually $199. So I'm surprised the battery is actually cheaper than, I went to AutoZone, and I think I paid $179 for a replacement AGM battery at AutoZone. So the battery itself is actually not expensive at the dealership. So that's something that might be good for you guys to know. The labor is $253, and that's basically to put the battery in your car and to cold the battery for, I think he said it was up to 2 hours of coating the car. I did need brakes. I don't need brakes and rotors, but he said I will do by my next inspection, which is in the spring. And that's the quote for brakes and rotors, which is what I expect. I did look up parts for the brakes and rotors in my car, for all 4, by the way. And the parts at $470 is actually a fair price. I'm not sure if I could get that cheaper. And labor is $253, which is very interesting. Labor is the same as putting a battery in a car and coating it. So the labor price is the same for putting a battery into a car as to replacing the brakes and rotors on all 4 wheels. Interesting there. I don't know. It's a weird labor rate. I'm not sure how they do that. So put that to the side. Valve cover gasket was leaking. That I'm not even going to have them do, but it was $11.30 for that. The gasket is $55. The labor is almost $1,000. Not sure why. That's something I'm not going to do. I don't think it's necessary now. The issue that I have is the oil filter housing gasket. It is leaking on the belts and it's making a mess in the engine. And for some reason, that was one of the most expensive things on here for the oil filter housing gasket. The DIY for this was about 2 to 3 hours. When I did it, I'm not sure how they got that labor rate at $11.49. I'm hoping that's an error, because it is not $11.49 labor, the price of labor to do that. I'm not sure where they're getting that price from. I'm pretty sure it's a mistake. I don't have sports package. I'm not sure if he's billing me as if I have the extra thermostat cooling unit on my oil filter housing. I do not have that on my my BMW. But that was the kicker. $14.69 for an oil filter housing gasket service. I have an indie shop that's going to do this for me for $400. And again, when you do the oil filter housing gasket, it does require an oil change. So, and I believe a coolant flush as well. But since he's doing a water pump, I'm not sure what's going on with that. But that's just, I told him, don't do that. I'll do it somewhere else. It's not urgent. The only thing is the oil is leaking onto the belts, and it's creating a bit of a mess with the belts and the pulleys. So that's my story back from the dealership. Where's my original thing? And bought back a teddy bear, hair, and an invoice for that much. But basically all he's doing is the belts and pulleys, but that is just, it's just insane. And I don't know what the hell. It's just, we were going on vacation and I need that money for my vacation. So most of it is going to stuff I need for the car. Like I said, the lease on this Mercedes is done at the end of the year. We're not going to renew the lease. We might just keep my car for a couple of months and then get a bigger SUV. I'm not sure from where, but I'm done with BMW. I'm not gonna buy another BMW. I'm gonna try to do some mods on my car, knowing that now with like the price, like this price, you could go out and buy a whole new BMW E90 for that price. You get an E46 for that price. That's the price of another used BMW 3 Series basically, and that's just for 4 little things: filter gaskets, belts and pulleys, a battery, brakes. Yeah, I'm not going to count that in here. And a water pump. That's just crazy, crazy money. And that's to show you how expensive the car is if you do it at the dealership. And like I said, I'm just tired of stuff myself. But more importantly, the water pump, and I believe the water pump and the battery has a lifetime warranty, he told me. So if anything goes wrong on those items, bring it back and they'll fix it. So I know the water pump, the reason I didn't want to do the water pump myself or do the water pump at like a local mom and pop shop is because I know it's going to fail soon enough. And I wanted a warranty on that to be longer than 50,000 miles or what, 4 or 5 years. But he said that's a lifetime. Once I get that service done, that's a lifetime for the water pump. So I'm pretty sure that's not going to be transferred to the new owner if I sell my car. But it's good to know that that water pump, once I put that in, $1,400 is what I pay for it. If it fails, and it will fail, he did look at me and tell me, yeah, it will fail by the time your car gets to 100,000 miles. It will fail again, and bring it back in and they'll fix it or replace it for free. So that's, you know, a couple of water pump jobs in that service price there. So that's it, guys. I'm back. I'm not too happy, but it's stuff that needs to get done. All right, guys. See you guys when I come back. I'm going to do some more videos in the new year. Thank you guys for watching and subscribing, liking.